I've also discovered like families that I'd never met, and now they are like home for me here, right? I'm also setting an example. So that gives you that power ki, you know what, let's push harder and see what else is there.
Have those times, tough times, you think, जो college में आए थे, उससे worst times आते हैं while working in New York City, or studying was tougher? What do you think was tougher?
We're international students, so we have time crunch with our visa. You have to find a job within 60 to 90 days, or otherwise you're going to get deported.
कि हाँ इतने मोटे मोटे लॉ बुक्स लेके लॉ वाले बच्चे खाली पढ़ाई करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है.
10 seconds बाद I realized कि earthquake आए, I should go down, but the earthquake stopped. And after that the memes started coming out. लोगों को लगा कि
यहाँ पे पता क्या रूल है, अगर गाड़ी किसी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है ना, आप लिटरली उसके लिए रुक नहीं सकते. जो लोग अपने पेरेंट्स का घर कोलैटरल दे के लोन लेके आते हैं, लाइक नॉट जस्ट स्ट्रेसफुल फॉर द पेरेंट्स बट लाइक खुद के लिए, लाइक कि अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो पेरेंट्स सड़क पे आ सकते हैं. लाइक सो हेलो एवरीवन, टुडे आई एम एट न्यूयॉर्क यूनिवर्सिटी, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर यूनिवर्सिटी फॉर इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स. अगर आप सर्विस रिपोर्ट देखोगे, द नंबर ऑफ इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स coming to New York University is in the number one list. Around 12 to 13,000 international students come here every single year. So let's have a quick round of intro. We have two master's students at NYU and we have a graduate student from NYU as well. So let's start with you all.
So, hi everyone, I'm Devashi Chatterjee. So, I'm currently pursuing my master's in computer science at New York University, Tandon. Prior to this, I did my bachelor's in computer science from KIT University, Bhubaneswar. And post that, I worked for 3 years in Bangalore as a software developer.
हाय, आई एम सुदर्शना. मैं एक लॉयर हूँ. मैं इंडिया में 4 साल लॉ प्रैक्टिस कर चुकी हूँ एंड आई एम हियर अ मास्टर स्टूडेंट एट NYU School of Law. आई एम डूइंग माई LLM and I am graduating this year. Previously when I was working in Mumbai with a law firm and मेरा area of specialization is law and finance. तो उसी को मैं यहाँ पे I'm taking it forward with my masters and hopefully in future work.
I'm Kavya. I'm from Hyderabad. I did my bachelor's in hospitality and I joined NYU in fall 2022 as a project management graduate. Graduated in December and now I'm working for a healthcare startup.
New York City is also considered to be one of the most loneliest city as well. So see the point पे start करते हैं. How many times you think you have felt lonely or unsafe in New York City? So let's first start with lonely.
So regarding lonely, I would say कि उतना नहीं जितना मेरे को लगा था. I have friends and family members, who have become family now in Bay Ridge and Brooklyn, an area where I live around. So कभी-कभी like when they are not around me, I feel a little bit lonely. So but due to the time difference, I even cannot call my friends back in India. उनको भी call नहीं कर सकते. तो कभी-कभी होता है, but yeah, I think we get used to it and you can pass it on and live it on.
How about you?
I think it's a mixed bag. I do feel lonely quite a bit. I think it's like as soon as Sunday maybe, when I was just like, I had nothing else to do. I was done with everything and I was in my room and मेरे parents already सो चुके थे, so there was no one to talk to. My boyfriend is there in Europe and he's also like sleeping. So yeah, it can get pretty lonely. But I've also discovered like families that I'd never met and now they are like home for me here, right? So if you have like even like distant relatives जिनको आप कभी नहीं मिले हो, so they go out of the way to like make you feel at home. So I think I've discovered that as well. Safety wise, I don't think I've felt more unsafe compared to like India, but yeah, I think it's pretty safe. Like I have traveled at the wee hours of night and morning, so I've not felt that unsafe at all.
That is great, but how many times you guys have cried, if you feel comfortable?
I did have cried sometimes, not multiple times, but sometimes in last semester and this semester a little bit due to lots of, academic issues, summer internship stress and everything, like things are not going correct. I won't lie, I've thought lots of time that why मैंने क्यों अपना job छोड़ के आ गया यहाँ पे, like resetting the whole thing to zero and stuff. But I also have thought कि क्यों ना वापस ही चले जाते हैं, छोड़ छाड़ के सब कुछ क्या ही जाता है इस समय पे. But yeah, मेरे friends were there, my family was there to support me, ये सब initiatives लेके सब कुछ लेके, and I was like ठीक है अब आ गए तो कर लेते, because I realized कि if I have not come here, I would regret this decision way down the line again कि मौका था आने के लिए and I didn't come. So yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I have cried multiple times in my room, not like Devashi mentioned in Washington Square Park में नहीं, of course. But yeah, like you get overwhelmed with the amount of work that you have to do, the job stress. And I worked there. I had a comfortable life there. Yahan pe you have to do everything on your own, including you don't have any house help or anything, right? And there is always, you're facing a time crunch. You're always rushing from one thing to another. So it can get overwhelming. So that can get to you, but it's just any other phase. You're restarting something. So then better sense prevails and फिर आपको लगता है कि अच्छा ठीक है यार, आए हैं तो अभी कुछ करके ही जाएंगे वैसे तो वो, हाँ, वो गाना बजता रहता है, कर हर मैदान फतेह.
But I did cry like with a view in, with the Manhattan skyline near Brooklyn Bridge and stuff like that. मैंने एक दो बार तो वहाँ, like it's a very peaceful area, तो मैं जाके शाम को एक दो बार जाके बैठता था to gather my thoughts together कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ क्या नहीं कर. वहाँ पे बैठ के एकदम like see what is happening, like everyone is also sitting quietly, सब चल रहा है because the city is so moving, you get overwhelmed sometimes. But yeah, it's okay to like take a break, stop and see what's happening and see how beautiful the city is. I think the city has actually, the buildings and the city as a whole has helped me go on through the past 9 months.
मैंने अपने मतलब लाइक आई थिंक हमें यूजुअली ट्रेन किया जाता है अगर आप रो रहे हो, आप इमोशनली वीक हो, आपको कई बार ऐसा फील होता है कि आपको गिव अप करना चाहिए, क्यों आए इधर, लाइक व्हाट कीप्स यू मूविंग, व्हाट इज द मोटिवेट, कैसे अपने आप को मोटिवेट करते हो बियॉन्ड ऑल द इश्यूज हियर, तो कैसे आप अपने आप को पुश कर पाते हो?
So it's mainly my parents, like उनके like they sacrificed a lot for me यहाँ पे भेजने के लिए, from depleting the savings to loan and stuff like that. So उनका एक है, फिर there are lots of friends of mine who are actually looking up to me क्योंकि वो लोग मेरे को भी देख के they are making the study abroad plans right now. One of my friend is actually moving to UK for his masters in business analytics now. He was also afraid to come, like, but then he saw me to driving factor like that. And there are so many juniors from undergrad school, there are in my office work and workplace and stuff like that who are looking forward to me, how I'm living, seeing my stories, my Snapchat stories and Instagram stories and my experience all over. And I think that motivates me कि like दूसरे भी अगर motivate होके like they take that step and जाए, so it's because due to me, so that makes me feel very good and like चलो कर ही लेते हैं, बाकी लोग भी देख के कर ही लेंगे. तो
क्या बात है.
Yeah, I think he has summed it up pretty nicely. I think my first go to cry for help जब लगता है कि नहीं ठीक है यार, वापस जाके भी कर सकते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि यहाँ पे रहना है, we are pushing through so many obstacles here. But I think the first go-to place is my parents, my family, and they tell me how far I've already come, right? So that is like, that gives me some kind of confidence कि इतना आ गए हैं तो और थोड़ा ही सही. And I think what you mentioned, right, कि कभी-कभी you set an example, बहुत inspiring example, कि अगर आप ये leap of faith ले सकते हो, so people also get inspired. Right now, as I'm about to graduate, बहुत सारे दूसरे लोग जो मेरे से 2-3 साल जूनियर्स है, मेरे लॉ स्कूल के हैं जो कभी यहाँ पे नहीं आए हैं NYU में, they are now finding that courage to apply, and then they are like, okay, you know what, even if we have better opportunities elsewhere, should we take this leap or not, so they also feel that confidence. So then you feel like, okay, you know what, I'm not just doing this for myself, I'm also setting an example. So that gives you that power ki, you know what, let's push harder and see what else is there.
Absolutely. Like क्योंकि आपको खुद के लिए नहीं करना, because if you are able to do it, then your whole family can say कि हाँ, my child could do it. And we also have काव्या here जिनके पास वर्क एक्सपीरियंस है, बिकॉज यूएस में स्पेशली न्यूयॉर्क में इतना कट थ्रोट कल्चर होता है वर्किंग का. लाइक आई हैव हर्ड मेनी स्टोरीज, लाइक आपके नहीं सुने, आई हैव हर्ड मेनी स्टोरीज कि यहाँ पे लाइक दे डोंट थिंक बिफोर गिविंग नेगेटिव फीडबैक. यहाँ पे न्यूयॉर्क सिटी में इट्स लाइक कंप्लीटली ट्रांसपेरेंट. मैंने कई बार महसूस किया है कि व्हेन यू गेट अ फीडबैक फ्रॉम मैनेजर्स स्पेशली न्यूयॉर्क सिटी, दे आर लाइक very blunt about it. कभी good feedback देंगे, otherwise they want to take you to perfection. So can you share your work experience working in New York City?
I'm telling you, I think when you look at the city in general, the culture is as such that you stand in Times Square, you'll see thousands and millions of people walking around, and then that's when you know that the city takes work really seriously, because you see the amount of rush these people go through every day. And that's it. I think it's just ingrained in New York's culture. So I don't think it's I think it's just the culture that's also passed down to all the companies that work here. But from my experience, it's my first job, And yeah, sometimes your first job can get tough, but I think you'll have the strength to push through.
Have those times, tough times, you think, जो college में आए थे, उससे worst times आते हैं while working in New York City, or studying was tougher? What do you think was tougher?
I think it depends on the. I think that's to each his own.
But आप अपना scenario बताओ.
Yeah.
So.
According to my scenario, I think for me, I think I would say a balance, but more challenging at work.
More challenging at
More
work.
challenging.
Oh my God. I mean, I personally thought कि मेरे लिए working is easier. But what do you guys expect? जब you will be working in industry, you think your times will be tougher or easier? Because you guys are students, and yeah, so
the good thing is कि like यहाँ आने से पहले the company which I work with Infinera, so my manager and my whole team was in US only. I was the only one from India, so it was more of a global team, and we had three people from Europe also working in the same team. So my manager was from US, and uska work culture and like how he helped me go through everything, like taking holidays, vacations and stuff, how he was opening a take and everything. I think the work culture might be good, but again, it depends from person to person, because I know some of my friends who passed out from the undergrad in US only and working in top companies like Meta, Amazon, where they're saying like the work life is not that good. We are working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. like that. So I think it boils down to the manager at the whole, like how supportive he is of you and everything. I think it also depends on you कि तुम कैसे काम कर रहे हो. अगर ढंग से कर लोगे तो I think they can be pretty good. But yeah, वो तो अब जॉब मिलने के बाद ही पता चलेगा.
I think work culture wise, like, because मैंने एक law firm में काम किया है इंडिया में, तो I'm pretty much like I've seen long hours, रात को लेट आना, काम बहुत ज़्यादा करना, कभी कभी ऐसे बहुत ज़्यादा काम आ जाता है. I think work culture wise there could be a lot of difference, like Kavya mentioned कि यहाँ पे people take work seriously, right? And people take weekends also seriously. You are expected कि आप Friday सब कुछ wrap up करके you go home. You're not supposed to be disturbed. I think that is something which is very different. At least people that I've spoken to here, जो work experience जिनका वो काम है यहाँ पे वो करते हैं. Because India में कोई weekend culture नहीं है. Like anybody can call you over the weekend and they can tell you कि अच्छा ये चाहिए हमें Monday morning, right? And you're supposed to do it. I think that is different. अगर आप ऑफिस में हो 8 घंटे तो आपको पूरा वो 8 घंटे you have to be like quite productive. At least that's what I think would be the major challenge, because you are used to having chai breaks and walking breaks and stuff. But other than that, I don't think studying versus working में मुझे इतना ज़्यादा different ये होगा. But yeah, maybe like work culture, maybe making friends at work would be a challenge, because different communities and stuff. India में दोस्त बन जाते थे, you just go out for lunch. यहाँ पे it might be a challenge because people have a very clear segregation between their work life, between their work and their life. So yeah.
Awesome. So let me give you the reality here. It depends on which company you're working. अगर आप किसी, for example, if you work for TikTok, which is like, origin from China, or if you work for any Indian-based companies in the US, your culture might be similar to India. I've seen many stories like that. And if you work in an American-based company, your work-life balance could be super amazing. So I think, even if you're in US, work balance is based on the origin of the company. आपको example बताता हूँ कि I have some friends working for TikTok, and they work like same China की तरह 9 to 6, like excluding lunch break. Plus, they can be called at other times. So it is cutthroat. Okay. Yeah. So now let's get into academic questions. So first, can you tell me why NYU? Because I think NYU is considered really expensive. Everyone knows how expensive it is. And like in terms of, many people who advise, they always say that choose rather the university which can give you the most scholarship, because people advise कि आपका school से ज़्यादा आपका network important, and if you study for free or even at a cheaper price, you can maybe have the same return. So what were the motivating factors that beyond this helped you in choosing NYU?
So for me, it was mainly the subjects and everything. So मेरे को थोड़ा like I wanted to like specialize more in big data and cloud and machine learning side. So यहाँ पे I saw the curriculum and like academic what exactly क्या पढ़ाता है वो लोग big data में, what in cloud कितना in depth जा रहा है in subjects like computer vision and everything. So that was one of the driving factors because even though I had admits from various other universities also, मैंने 3-4 के साथ I matched the courses. I saw कि इसमें in depth इतना नहीं पढ़ाता, ये तो मैं पढ़ चुका हूँ तो ये पढ़ के फायदा नहीं, यहाँ पे something is new gonna is teaching in NYU. And plus the driving factor for me another was कि NYU में majority of subjects जो मैंने लिए they are taught by industry professors. So they come from like I have a professor who's working at IBM and in Amazon also, and a professor who's working at Google. My software engineer professor used to work at Google. So वो लोग शाम को आके पढ़ाते हैं and they used to bring out like what they did that day also in the office and how they did this. Like मैंने ये like they were teaching something, they like oh did to I this last week only, मैंने ऐसे किया था, हम लोग ऐसे करते गूगल में, ऐसे करते हम लोग IBM में, ये ऐसे करते हम लोग Amazon में बिग डेटा वाइज ये वगैरह वाइज. So that was also one of the main driving factors. But the most primary factor was the NYC city as a whole, because if you get the chance to come to New York City, I don't think so you should give it up, because यहाँ पे if you come there's so many things to see. There are like your networking opportunities are huge. यहाँ पे there are so many tech market, the finance market and fintech market is also there. So if you want to go with fintech and stuff like that, then New York City is so definitely a plus point. And the subject and the curriculum at NYU Tandon is pretty much updated to everything, and the professors are also amazing. They support you. So that was the main driving factors.
Absolutely. The infrastructure here is one of the best. यहाँ पे fastest Wi-Fi I've seen. And, you know, the community obviously is very, very, you know, rich in their culture and background. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I think NYU was an obvious choice because I'm a corporate lawyer. I wanted to specialize in finance law, and New York is one of the leading world financial centers, London, Singapore. So I think New York was an obvious choice. I think NYU because it has like the best business law program, finance law program. Not to say that other universities का भी काफी अच्छा program है, but I think the specific professors that I wanted to study under, the subjects that I wanted to take, and it's quite similar to what Devarshi mentioned was कि यहाँ पे professors, they have also practiced, right? So a lot of my classes are taken by professors who have already worked and who are still working. So I think they don't just teach you ki books mein kitab, and it's not very isolated from actual practice. They actually, like, I have a professor who tells me like what he does in his day-to-day practice. So it's difficult for me to follow because I'm like, okay, student means, you know, he's going to give a structure. This is what I have to read. I have to come to class prepared. But that's not, we work through stuff in class. I think that's something that was quite unique to NYU. And I think the third would be, of course, scholarship always helps. But I think NYU can open doors to places that I want to be. For example, if you want to work with the most reputed organizations, they see that brand. And okay, that's not a deal like, okay, you know what, they see NYU and they hire you. No, but they do see NYU and they are ready to give you an opportunity to speak. I wanted that opportunity. I wanted that door to be, it's just getting your foot at the door. I think NYU had a higher chance of doing that. So
brilliant. Wow, because like I have seen many colleges में professor आते हैं, presentation पढ़ाते हैं, चले जाते हैं, and they think that, oh, student can cover on their own. But I think the way you're describing is NYU doesn't rely on the student will do on their own. They are like कि आप class में आओ, we will make sure you learn, we'll make sure that the moment you exit the door, आप कुछ value लेके जा रहे हो. इसी बात पे I want to share something about health insurance. So this whole podcast was possible because of Kimber Health. So, you know, when international students come here, वो by default campus जो भी international student की health insurance मिलती है, they just blindly take it. So how was your journey? Because first of all, ये mind में मेरे इस कारण आया because one of Kimber Health's actually user जो health insurance की use करता है, they got a possible job offer just through referring health insurance. So like networking is so powerful. कभी-कभी आप notice नहीं करते, जो आपके पास है उसको आप approach करना भूल जाते हो. So like, can you share how was the health insurance journey, and did you use, first of all, health insurance from university or?
So I am also using Kimber Health only. For me, Abitak, it has been pretty much smooth and everything. Fortunately I didn't have to visit hospital yet and stuff like that. But there are lots of free perks and everything given by Kimber, from OTC card to gym reimbursements, which I have been using it to the full and extent and everything. Apart from that, I have friends who actually unfortunately had to visit emergency services and everywhere. They said that they didn't have any issues like that. They had it was pretty much smooth from booking from places, hospitals, doctors and everything. So overall, I think it's pretty much good. For me, it has been a good experience.
New York City में it's completely free. In other states, like it's available all over the US. वहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत charge करते हैं around me in Atlanta, but here it's completely free. It's a big thing for you. Like you can get the whole refund.
Exactly. I mean, NYU as a whole बहुत high charge करते हैं. They charge around $2,000 and $4,000 respectively for schools per year for health insurance. And ऊपर से they don't cover dental and vision also for that. For dental and vision controls you have to subscribe अलग से. But Kimber as a whole like सब cover करते हैं, from dental, vision to everything. Wow. So it's amazing, I would say.
So I signed up for the NYU sponsored insurance initially, and I think you're absolutely right, because most of the students like they go with the school sponsored insurance because there are so many things to take care of when you are coming here for school, right? You have to take care of visa, you have to take care of health insurance, housing, transit, blah blah blah. So you end up signing up for it. But fortunately, I knew people who were signing up for Kimber Health, and I signed up for it, got my waiver, got my refund, and I think Devarshi mentioned, right, it covers dental, vision. I've not faced any issues with like finding a hospital or a healthcare provider here. It's very streamlined. People are very ready to help and all. And it's absolutely free. Like, I save $4,000 on insurance. Come on, man. It's a huge deal. It's basically, a lot of my savings.
And लोग पता grocery shopping भी कर लेते हैं Walgreens, because there's a health store like Walgreens. You get $75 per month with that health insurance, and you can use that.
Yeah, so you get an OTC card as a part of that insurance. So it's a health benefit. So you get $75 per quarter. So it's $300 per year, and you can use it for any pharmacy, like over-the-counter drugs and all of that. And you can also use it for like food, and you can also use it for groceries, personal care, toothpaste, and all of that.
I wanted to add another benefit. So if I mean, I know a lot of students come here and they're just like, oh, I want to go to the gym. Imagine going to the NYU gym for free, but then you have the essential plan, and with the essential plan you will be able to reimburse $400 annually, even by showing, I went to the gym 50 times in 6 months or something, and I went 100 times maybe in like a year, and then you will get like your $400 reimbursed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anyone watching this video, go check out Kimber Health. No matter wherever you are in the US, go and sign up and get your health insurance refunded by your university.
There are some professors also like if they are moving too fast and not understanding in the class, they are like, we can wait, we can take a break. If you can't understand, I'll restudy it. मैं फिर से पढ़ा रहा हूँ, तुम कर लो ये सब. So there are some professors who do that also. So in that aspect, I think it's very, very good.
Totally agree with what Sudarshana and Devarshi said. For me, it was more of the networking opportunities I could find, especially because I think two of my professors are in really good positions in Fortune 500 companies, and a lot of NYU tandem professors are also in such positions. And I think it's the kind of attraction that NYU students get when we're out. Like right now, the job market is pretty bad. I wouldn't say pretty, it's terrible. But had the job market been good, or if it gets better in maybe like a year or two, then I think we're probably much, like Sudarshana said, she wanted the opportunity, she wanted that foot at the door, and I think NYU students have a higher chance of somewhere finding that opportunity and like just claiming it. So yeah.
True. So इसी बात पे let's talk about the percentage of students getting placed currently. I went to Stony Brook. The number was very low. It's stated that maybe 50% of the students might not even get a job because the job market is so bad. Interest rate. The main reason is interest rate. So interest rates are higher. Yeah. Companies used to get free money. Government say free में loan low, and interest rates were 2%. So you invest somewhere in bonds, you get 5%. So if it's free money of those 3% returns, you can get and hire as many people. Now that free money is gone, so they're not able to hire. So what do you all think? What is the placement rate currently in your batch?
In my batch, I cannot say properly. मेरे को उतना नहीं पता. But summer internship wise, I would say कि tech market is not that good as of now. Obviously, there are around 15 to 20% people who are currently have got summer internship offers in at least in the tech domain. And in non-tech domain, it's far better. I think 30-40% people have already got jobs in summer internship and stuff. But I think with the market picking up, people are getting offers. They got more interview calls in the past 3 to 4 months after the spring break and after the winter break and stuff like that than before it. So I think in the next 1.5 months still we have to get an internship before the summer stuff starts and everything. So Dekta, I hope a majority of the batch gets in. Else, I think it's gonna be pretty much good for the next year because full-time market is actually pretty good right now, better than the internship market. So yeah, hopefully.
Nice. Nice. So law school placement is pretty low, I would say. But again, it's a mixed bag because a lot of people who get placed, they already are going back to the same firm, or they are going back to firms which are located in their kind of origin. So as far as US market is concerned, I don't think it's fair to say कि हाँ अभी NYU से निकले and placement stats is like 40% or 30% or 20% because a lot of people also aren't that flexible in terms of choosing कि हाँ मुझे ये काम करना है. So it's not like we don't have offers, but we want to do a specific kind of work here. We are not getting that, they are not sitting here. And that's the same in India. But यहाँ पे we also have a disadvantage because like mera master's is just for 1 year, right? So, and people are doing bachelors for 3 years. They have greater, it's just economies of scale, right? 3 years up network karo, you will land up somewhere better than, people who are just here from another country for 1 year. But I think having said that, there are quite a few opportunities that are looking up. Maybe not instantly after I graduate, but maybe 6 months later. You just have to be patient. Like markets go up and down all the time, and we fill a need here, right? So जब कोई requirement ऐसा आता है कि we want this profile, that's when you get an opportunity कि I am good fit. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not like companies come over to campus and hire hundreds of people. That's not the scene here. That's not what is the scene here. Yeah.
So it's all down to networking and how you do it is what I believe. Campus fairs mein they might just you have to just network yourself वहाँ पे. I think only one of my friends have got an interview from campus fairs. So ऐसा नहीं कि मिलता नहीं. He talked and he pitched himself and he got an interview 2-3 weeks later. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same. Like Sudarshana had mentioned, I think, like for bachelors, they get a lot of time to grow, to, build up their speaking skills, to go out there and to network. So that gives them a lot of time compared to the amount of time that we get as grad students. And also because we're international students, so we have time crunch with our visa. You have to find a job within 60 to 90 days, or otherwise you're going to get deported. So there are a lot of factors and variables playing into it, but yeah, that's all I can
How
say.
she casually mentioned deported.
That is because that's so yeah.
So the visa issues are
Deported कितना casually आपने बता दिया.
Casually she mentioned that we can get deported and stuff, and I'm like, that is the biggest scare in the back of my mind. Not jobs, to actually remain legal.
like इतना loan, heavy loan लेके इंडिया वापस चले गए.
But I think इस केस में many students have backup option. लोग consultancies की जगह I've heard many students are actually working with the professors because safe as consultancies are not safe. So what options you have in your mind in this bad job market? So are you planning to continue at the university or you think you will somehow find the job within the deadline of 60 days of OPT?
So right now, like since मैं तो summer internship का hunt पे कर रहा हूँ, full time मेरा next year से start होगा. So right now, what I have decided कि if I don't get a summer internship by the end of this month or middle of May, may probably take up a research assistant option or something like that. Work with certain professors who are looking for unpaid work or volunteer work. Try to convince them for a paid job or stuff like that. So that I can still learn कुछ नया field में and learn it and then build on that experience and then hunt for a full time job in the upcoming months for when I graduate eventually in 2025. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there are multiple different options in different fields. There are research assistantships, there are volunteer organizations that are like looking for like unpaid volunteer like position like work and all. So I think for me, I am not looking for an opportunity within those 60 days because I already have this kind of a 3-month fellowship thing in London. So I know I will lose my OPT anyway, right? So I think there are multiple ways to work around that. You can come back here on a J1, and if you want, you can also like work part-time with an organization to keep the clock running. So you just have to be very flexible. Like I think आप अगर सोचोगे कि नहीं 60 days के अंदर like Amazon will come and hire me as a in their in-house cleaner, that's not happening, guys. It will probably open up 6 months later, but in the meanwhile you can find something to stay here in the US. अगर आप 60 days के बाद if you want to like work, like I think expenses is a huge challenge, which is why people decide to go back, because if they don't find like a good job, because you have to pay rent, you have to pay health insurance is quite probably expensive for most people. So I think all these considerations would probably narrow your choices.
Yeah, I think very well said. So like, because you guys are taking degree as a platform that is gonna return in the next over years. आप ऐसा नहीं सोच रहे कि अभी return नहीं आया then it's over. Like many people think degree like that कि if I'm not getting a job right now, that means it's over. No, it's an exponential return. Maybe you will get in 1 year, 2 years, who knows when. So what do you think about it?
I think in this scenario, what I would suggest is, I know there's a lot of people from my batch that are still looking for jobs, and I think if had I not a job, I think the best path or route for me would be to do an unpaid internship or maybe volunteer work for a non-profit, and then use my time to like apply to a lot of jobs, maybe like mass apply to a lot of jobs every single day when I get back home. And I think that strategy will work for a lot of people. It might work, it might not work. But if you're in engineering like Devarshi's in Dandon, maybe join under a professor, be a research assistant, a TA, or a graduate assistant, or find an on-campus job. There are so many opportunities. Like Sudarshana mentioned, you can be flexible. It's just you have to choose to be flexible at this time and not be very particular and be like, oh, I want my perfect job, because I don't think that's a possibility right now.
Most important question, can you walk us through fees? Kitna loan liya, expenses?
So for me in NYU, in Tandon especially, the per credit cost is around $2.3K. So we need 30 credits to graduate in Masters in Computer Science. So I have around total $80K around is my total tuition fees. And since I've got a scholarship of 6K per year, so the tuition fee comes down to around 65 to 70. And in Indian amount, it's around 50 lakhs. And that's the equal amount of non-collateral loan which I've taken out from HDFC Credila with a very reasonable interest rate around 11. And apart from that, my daily expenses are around $740 goes to my usual living, my rent for my house monthly, and utilities cost around $100 monthly, including electricity, Wi-Fi bills, phone bills, and everything. And groceries around $200 to $300. It depends on obviously how you're spending and what you're eating. But apart from that, I've seen people also shooting up to $1,500 a month, every inclusive. Luckily, I have subsidies to $1,200. So yeah. That's from it.
So like, अगर मोटा-मोटा देखा जाए तो 50 lakhs expenses हो गए.
50 lakhs is a tuition is gonna be, and apart from that, you can take around 1 lakh to 1.1 lakhs per month for your living.
So 2 years living, that will be like, let's say
24 lakhs, 25 lakhs you can take, plus 75 to 80 lakhs is usual the total amount, apart, including scholarship. Apart, if you don't get a scholarship, it's gonna stretch out to 90 to 1 crore.
So law school ka tuition and living expenses is slightly different because I live on campus. So my rent is very high. So my tuition and rent which I pay to the law school was around 60 lakhs. So 40 lakhs का मैंने loan लिया था and 20 lakhs went from my savings, and I had another 20 lakhs of scholarship which again was adjusted in tuition and all of that. So I think total cost would be around 90 lakhs. So out of which 40 was finance, 20 was scholarship, and 30 was my saving.
Got it. And housing का आपका कितना? Because he lives in like Brooklyn. तो आपका 700 per month. It's very incredible, by the way. We will tour later. तो आपका housing?
Yeah, so my rent is $1,800 per month, I live in Washington Square campus, which is like the most expensive, and it's very close. I think for me, the priority was living as close to the campus because I didn't want to like commute so much. And also, I think it was quite manageable for me because sometimes I have like classes in very late in the evening, so I don't have to travel late in the evening. But of course, there's a trade-off. So it is $1,800 is not a joke for a one-room apartment, and my average like expenses come down $300 per month. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, like, it's then adding housing.
300.
So, okay, got it. So, if mota dekha jaye, to it's like around 90 lakhs total, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Got it. Thank you. I think all set. Yeah, this is good. So now talking about the investment on the degree, how do you define return on that investment? Do you define as personal growth? Do you define it as the return on your package? Like, how do you define?
So for me, like, I think it's obviously personal growth and the learnings which I'll get from working in a corporate world in the USA. But again, like, we cannot like just say because money is also has to be a factor because I have huge student loan and everything to pay off. So I think initial 2-3 years for me, it will be more about the money factor. ताकि मैं अपना loan पूरा एकदम cleared out कर दूँ. Then I think after that, I'll try to utilize my degree in personal growth and personal experience in various parts of the world.
Yeah, for me, I think I also have a student debt, but in terms of monetary return, I'm not that concerned about it because I have had student debt in my undergrad as well, and I repaid it within a year. So if I get a good paying job here, I will probably be able to repay it like in 2-3 years. If I don't, then I'll stretch it for like 10 years, right? So there is a longer period. But for me, I think it's more the non-monetary aspect of it, the ability to interact with different communities here, form friends from all over the world. And I know that these connections can, help you like 10 years later, 5 years later, there's no monetary value that you can put on those kind of connections that you make here. And like I said, like the degree that I get from NYU is forever. It's gonna be in my resume. I'm always gonna be known as that someone who graduated from NYU. The kind of difference that you make, the kind of example that I'm gonna set for at least people from my law school, right, who I'm the first one to come to NYU, right? So that's going to set an example. So I don't think it's fair to me just to say कि हाँ ये monetary value है, like I'm going to get like this amount of return, I'm going to profit. Of course that's there, right? You're coming to the US, you're going to earn in dollars, you're going to save substantially. But at the end of the day, your lifestyle is not going to be any different if you were earning in India, right? So it's the same. The purchasing power is not that very different. Unless you decide to go back in India with the dollars, right? That's a different kind of thing. Yeah, but I think it's a different world, yeah. It's a different platform altogether. So I think the return is a mix of both.
And how about you? Because you have graduated. So how many years?
Oh my God, all eyes on me now. I think for me, it's very similar to what Devarshi mentioned. Yes, I think for this year and maybe like half of next year or half of 2025 or the whole of 2025, I will keep thinking about, saving up for that monetary return and making sure that everything is paid off. But after that, it's just going to be, maybe for me it'll be more of, okay, I'm in the US now, I've paid off my debt, so that burden will be off. So maybe then my priority will be a little different. Maybe I'll look at, okay, what is it that brings me joy, where am I supposed to be? And I think for me, I'll go in that direction, which would cater to personal growth. I would say personal growth. Yeah. But first monetary and then personal growth.
Amazing. So now, particular question for you about law firm. So can you please share, Sudarshana, that like, what does your career path look like with the law degree? So, you graduated in India, you worked in a law firm in India, right? Yes. So how does your career path look like, especially in law?
I think when I was in India, I had a very set career path. I started out off as an associate. I was in partnership track. Now I think the world has become much bigger for me. Now for me, I'm not just looking at a law firm career. I came with an objective because law firms are like very high paying jobs here. You get paid a lot. I came with that objective, but I feel like coming here, like it's practically open. Like I can go work with an international organization. I can work as an in-house counsel if I want. I can work with a startup. I think there are just like the possibilities are so many, and I think I'm a giddy person. So I think giddy मतलब मुझे ऐसा थोड़ा सा तो वो excitement हो जाता है, you know, a kid at a candy shop, right? You have so many options now. So I think I'm restarting my career. There's this uncertainty, but it's also like, you know, I can do anything. I don't need to have a set career right now, like, okay, 10 years at a law firm. And I don't know, I mean, you make partner and then what, right? So you gotta keep doing something else. Yeah, whatever makes me happy.
Nice.
Nice.
I really like that you are honest कि आपको fixed career path बनाने की जरूरत नहीं. You can always sometimes go with the flow. You know, you don't always have to commit to that. Oh, I have done a law degree. I have to be in this phase of life. So, like, सबसे पहले गिडी का मतलब बताना, मुझे समझ नहीं आया. गिडी का मतलब
गिडे मतलब I would say like एक बच्चे को अगर कैंडी शॉप में रख ऐसे छोड़ दो तो then that kid becomes very excited, right? So very small things can make me like super excited, right? So I think that is the meaning, but I'm not too sure.
is that Marathi word or
It's an English word.
really?
Yes. No, but I am that person who calculates like 5 years ahead in time. But I think looking at the job prospects here also and everything, I had to be flexible in mind. So it took some time to come to this position, like to appreciate ki I can do anything and I can do something for a while, and then I would obviously want to go for a corporate job, but even if I don't, I think I'll be fine even if like my career path doesn't look like what I'm imagining it to be like 5 years or 10 years down the line now. Yeah.
And in law firm, like in India, like what could be the worst challenging thing you have seen in law? Like if someone wants to pursue, because many students are very shy. I don't think I have seen any international student pursuing law.
You've not seen? Oh, that's something to say about law students.
How many international students you've seen in your batch of?
What
Of-
does the demographic look like? How many?
In NYU,
Yeah, for law especially, coming for law.
there are 450 master's students, and most of them are 90% are from like international students.
No, from India, how many?
Oh, from India. We are the second largest community, I think. Third largest community after China and Brazil.
Even
In NYU. In LLM, Masters in Law, international
Oh,
students.
really?
Yes.
That many law students come?
Yeah, so let me put it properly. So, the largest community that we have international students coming for law school in US is probably Brazil, and then we have China, and third is India. Yeah, it's quite popular. Yeah, and in fact, not just like talking from NYU perspective, a lot of students are from my law school and other law schools in India, like graduates, they have gone to pursue masters abroad. So doing a masters in law abroad is actually not an uncommon thing. Yeah.
Because like, you know, every country law rules are different, right? So that's why, like, if you do a degree in law in the US, how does it, like, you know, can transfer everywhere? Like, you know, law rules are different here, like divorce rules are different here, like crime rate, like section 21 is different here. Every section, like in India, how do you
Absolutely right. When you say that the legal systems are completely different, the laws change. It's not like it's interchangeable ki you can apply Indian laws here or you can apply US laws back in India. It's not going to help there. But there can be many objectives to, you know, getting a law degree here. I want to do it because I want to get qualified here in the US as a practitioner, as a lawyer, right? For me to do that, LLM is the best route, because if I do a master's here, I can take the bar exam, I can get qualified, and then I need not only practice US law, I can work in many cross-border transactions. So I can work with teams from Europe, I can work with teams from India. In India, the problem is because foreign law firms, like foreign lawyers, cannot practice there. So we are like a very closed industry. You end up practicing in Indian laws. But once I like get qualified here, I can practice in many. Of course, like I will not be advising someone on European laws if I'm working with a European team. But the opportunity to work with international teams, international companies, I think that's something that is appealing to me.
Brilliant. Because like at the end of the day, even though legal system is different, you at a time you don't need to memorize everything, right?
Absolutely not. I think that's a misconception where people think कि हाँ इतने मोटे मोटे law books लेके law वाले बच्चे खाली पढ़ाई करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है. बहुत सारे जुगाड़ू लोग भी आते हैं law profession में. But yeah, you don't need to memorize everything. But you do need to know where you should look at.
So, what do you think where you would go? Like there are so many kinds of lawyers, right? There is immigration attorney, there is legal system attorney, there's a crime attorney. So, where do you see yourself in that career?
I see myself as a corporate lawyer. I see myself as a finance lawyer for now. There are, even in finance, I have a lot of different specializations. I can be a capital markets lawyer who will help companies, go for raise capital. I could also be like a venture capital lawyer, only help with early age startups, raise capital funding privately. I can also do mergers and acquisitions. You see all these takeovers and all. I can advise that. For me specifically, I think I want to specialize in finance. So maybe project finance, capital markets, M&A, but pretty much corporate and finance. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go into New York question. So New York ke baare mein, how many times you think that people here in New York are just networking for the sake of network, या फिर they want to friendship भी निभाना चाहते हैं? How difficult it is to step out and make connections here, because काफी लोग मानते हैं कि New York are very high net worth individuals and वो ज़्यादा easily maybe they're cutthroat, maybe they're not friendly. How do you think about them?
So, जितना मैंने अभी तक networking events attend किया in NYU and in the city as a whole, via various pages and stuff like that, there are people who are supportive, they try to maintain friendly relationships also and stuff like that, बात normal, बाकी क्या चल रहा है and how to help out and क्या करना चाहिए अगर कर रहे हो वो अगर कर रहे हो तो. And some are there who just for the sake of networking, only for job related stuff, not even 1% outside the job world they will talk about. So I think it boils down कैसे लोगों से तुम मिल रहे हो and everything, and how you are extracting that thing out from them. And so yeah, it's down to the person.
पर मेजॉरिटी कैसे देते हैं? अगर नंबर बताओ.
मेजॉरिटी आई वुड से कि मेरे को जितना अभी तक दिखा है, आई थिंक 70% आर फ्रेंडली इनफ. दे आर ओके ठीक है बात करते इसके बाहर, एंड इट्स नॉट वो लोग कट भी कर देते कि हाँ बहुत हो गया चलो नेक्स्ट आदमी आओ. दे आर नॉट लाइक दैट, एंड दे आर ठीक है चलो करते हैं बात अगर वगैरह. 30% आर हाँ ठीक है नेक्स्ट पर्सन ठीक है, हाँ आई एम नॉट दैट, उतना कुछ नहीं करता हूँ मैं जॉब में, मैं ये करता हूँ वो ये करता हूँ. तो या आई वुड से 70-30.
Yeah, networking can get very superficial at the very front. बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसा लगता है कि अच्छा ठीक है, it becomes like a rote thing कि अच्छा you introduce yourself, the other person also talks to you, so it can feel very mechanical at times. I think that's the biggest observation that I've had. But I also feel that people are quite open to networking. It's this is what you should be doing. It's not networking is not taken very seriously in India. So I think यहाँ पे networking is you got to do it. So it can feel mechanical that way, but people are also very interested to talk to you, tell them about. People love to talk about themselves, right? So I think they are also very approachable. So Devarshi mentioned, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि एक के बाद एक कि अच्छा तुम्हारा टाइम चला गया है. You talk to them, you ask them, okay, you can start off by saying कि अच्छा ठीक है, how was your flight, to New York City if somebody is coming from outside, and they'll be really interested to tell you कि अच्छा this is and all of that. You ask them about themselves and they would love to speak non-stop about themselves. So I think, yeah.
But I think I want to argue there's right time for everything. For example, अगर आप subway पे चले जाओ, in New York City, you ask someone कि कहाँ जाना है, लोग भाग रहे होते, sometimes they don't reply. If you're confused, okay, so this train or that train, people sometimes can just run and maybe not even stop to reply to that answer. So,
I think that's absolutely accurate. In fact, not just at the subway, right? So if you're walking on a street and you're lost somewhere, and if you ask someone who is they're just hurrying to some other place, and I don't think it's proper to say कि ऐसे ठीक है लोग ऐसे approachable नहीं है, because you are also heading to some place. If you are rushing from one place to another and somebody is asking you for directions, I've seen that not just in US but in India. I'm running from one place to another, somebody is asking for direction, I don't have the time to tell them. So it's not unique to people not being approachable here, but I think you should figure out आपको किससे direction मांगना है. अब अगर subway में हो तो maybe you ask the officers who are standing near the station or look at the boards, or I think asking for directions here, like generally what I have found is people are quite approachable, like, but yeah, I mean there are hits and misses.
Timing is correct.
Yeah.
I think timing is number one. And number two, a lot of students, when they come here, I think they generally think that, okay, networking, I need to go talk to, a lot of professors. But I think the mistake they make is they go and they're just like, oh, do you have job opportunities? I think that's the worst way to network. I think the first thing you need to do is maybe ask, like Sudarshana mentioned, they love talking about themselves. Ask them how their day was. Or just shoot a message saying, can you tell me something about yourself? And they'll probably they'll talk to you. They'll tell you a lot. They'll be like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yeah. Just questions that are more inquisitive in nature, questions that ask about their daily life and their professional careers. They would love to answer such questions. I think that will also carve a path for you for maybe another question. They're like, oh, so I came across this job or this opportunity, do you know anyone? So I think it goes, you probably will have to take baby steps. I think a lot of people get it wrong there. I think they just directly go and they're just like, yeah, there's a time and place for everything.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. There's always right time and right place for everything. And at the same time, यहाँ पे न्यूयॉर्कर्स के बारे में ये भी सुना जाता है, like, for example, let's say there is a crime scene somewhere. People run. They don't even stop for it. And at that time, आप यकीन नहीं करोगे, they have in cases that people assume कि चलो वो बंदा रिपोर्ट कर रहा होगा, ये कर रहा होगा, तो रिपोर्ट ही नहीं करते.
1 minute in New York is actually 59 seconds. So ये बहुत important है. And regarding that only, I think last Friday earthquake हुआ था यहाँ पे, and people didn't realize कि earthquake हुआ था. They realized कि subway नीचे से जा रहा है, इसलिए ठीक है, सबवे तो जा रहा होगा, क्या ही जाता है. I was in my bed watching the IPL match and it was shaking. I literally thought कि बाहर construction चल रहा होगा. 10 seconds बाद I realized कि earthquake आए, I should go down, but the earthquake stopped. And after that the memes started coming out. लोगों को लगा कि मेरे को तो लगा नीचे से सबवे जा रहा है full speed में, because यहाँ पे if you are from W4th Street का next station is 34th Street. So there are 30 streets नीचे से, तो subway goes at full speed. So it actually बहुत हिलता है अगर आप road पे खड़े रहोगे. तो लोगों को actually लगा था earthquake हो रहा है. Half the people didn't even realize कि earthquake हुआ है. हम लोग तो जो सबवे में था, हम लोग से तो नॉर्मल फील हो रहा था, कौन डेली का चीज़ है, सारा खेल रहा है, कुछ नया चीज़ है नहीं. फिर द मीम्स दैट वर आउट एंड एवरीथिंग, बाप रे. एंड दे एक्चुअली कैपिटलाइज आल्सो, चाइनाटाउन मार्केट में दे प्रिंटेड शर्ट्स कि आई सर्वाइव्ड द न्यूयॉर्क सिटी earthquake, एंड वो सेल भी हो गया, सोल्ड आउट.
Insane.
I think I am one of those people who did not realize the earthquake because I live near Washington Square campus. It is so noisy. It is so busy. Something or the other keeps happening. You don't realize. I think it is hard for you to focus and observe every little thing and keep that in mind. And be it networking, be it anything, there is a right time and place for everything. You gotta see, you have to read the room. You can't be asking for someone who is getting from one place to another and be like, you know what, I wanna have. But people are very open to having coffee chats. People are very open to have lunch, dinner with you. That is, I think, the most striking thing.
I have an interesting thing for this. I actually know a friend of mine who lives 2 streets down me, who actually went for a coffee at a place and he met a person. They actually had shared tables together. He talked and he got an internship offer from there. He got an interview call and he converted that internship offer. So it's just you have to be at the right place at the right time. It's कि अब तुम वॉल स्ट्रीट में कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर अगर चिल्ला रहा है किसी पे, वहाँ पे जाके पूछो कि भैया चार्जिंग बुल का डायरेक्शन किस तरफ है, वो ऑब्वियसली नहीं होगा ना.
Correct.
So yeah, right place and the right time matters the most.
यहाँ पे I live in a hostel whenever I live in New York City. People are shy to go to bars and clubs sometimes. कहते हैं कि अगर मैं गिर जाऊँगा, if I fall sometime in New York City, कोई उठाएगा भी नहीं मुझे. Because यहाँ पे लोगों को परवाह नहीं है किसी की. Because इसका कोई कौन है यहाँ पे? And at the same time people are so ignorant. हमने बात की crime के बारे में. Crime होता है New York City में, कोई सोचता है कि कोई और complain करेगा और they just they assume करते हैं कि कोई कंप्लेन करेगा, निकलते हैं.
हाँ, इंडिया में भी आई थिंक इट्स कॉमन.
इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं होता. इंडिया में लोग वीडियो देते हैं पर एक बंदा पुलिस बुला दे, तूने बुला दी कि 10 बंदे पूछते बुलाई कि नहीं, ठीक है. मुंबई में भी ऐसा नहीं होता, लोग खड़े हो जाते हैं. यहाँ पे पता क्या रूल है, अगर गाड़ी किसी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है ना, आप लिटरली उसके लिए रुक नहीं सकते. आपने अगर ड्राइवर्स लाइसेंस टेस्ट पास करोगे कभी, यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप फॉर समवन हु हैज एन एक्सीडेंट ऑन द साइड. इट्स अ रूल. you should at max call a police and just exit the situation, because आपको wait करना कि police आएगी. And there are cases sometimes, let's say someone had an accident, or like no one is in a situation to call police. Sometimes police बुलाई नहीं जाती. Like this, there have been some examples, because it's a rule. Like you see an accident, you don't stop, you call police if no one is here.
But you know, 911 is pretty like 911 is pretty responsive यहाँ पे. Like if emergency services, I would say it is more responsive.
Only if you complain, right? If no one is calling, how would... Sometimes there are cases.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you are probably talking about experience. Like, I think you are right when you say that, okay, you know, if somebody is actually having an emergency situation, then there are not many people doing it. But clearly you have been hanging around the wrong set of people. I'm sorry, but because here, at least within students, like I've been hanging around mostly students and national students and all, people are quite helpful. So if you actually are in a crisis or an emergency, there are a lot of helpful people. But yeah, if something unfortunate happens on the street, I think I'm scared now listening to you. Yeah.
I think there's always right time for right thing and wrong time for wrong thing. So kabhi like something happens at the wrong time, jahan pe, like if you're in a very crowded street, jahan pe koi bhaav nahi deta, like it can happen.
I think that happens in a lot of the crowded streets. Go to Times Square, you fall off, you hit your head somewhere, like nobody will come to pick you up. Like you just have to like, you know, get up and like just walk as if nothing happened. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, same. I have seen a story, like there's a YouTuber whose glasses got broken. कोई देखने तक नहीं आया. Like someone just hit his glasses. Like मेरे साथ क्या हुआ मैं बताता हूँ. Like the worst crime scene I've seen, like someone snatching my phone. यहाँ पे New York City में someone is selling fake AirPods Max, fake Apple products. I just take a video of him, not his face, just the products. उसका face was barely visible. And he comes and started snatching the phone away. Like he took the phone and was about to run. I had to quickly, because luckily I was running fast, I could get my phone back. Like all the YouTube footage would have gone. So like I was like, आगे से कोई पंगा नहीं लेना इन लोगों से.
Just ignore. हमें यही सिखाया जाता है यहाँ के, just don't look face to face किसी के साथ, just ignore, put your eyes down and walk. And empty places को just avoid. I think the international student community as a whole is pretty good. NYU में, like if you are going to bars and clubs and everything, usually go with your friends. So like I know lots of people who have been drunk and everything, and their sober friends actually took them back home. It happened with me also. A friend of mine helped me drop back home and stuff like that. So I think the international student community यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे है and they help out a lot. But I hope मेरे साथ कभी ना हो कि मैं अकेले चल रहा हूँ और वैसा कुछ हो जाए. Because I have seen actually people, they don't care. They just talk on their phones and stuff like that and just run and इधर से भागो.
No, I think it's a very legitimate fear. I think in the back of my mind, I always feel like यहाँ पे हाथ पैर नहीं तोड़ना है, किसी से पंगा नहीं लेना है. Because, you know, I also, yeah, and also I feel like, you know, I mean, you keep hearing a lot of crimes happening around the place that I live here, right? So it's a legit fear when I step out that, okay, you know what, if I'm going from one place to another, I'm just like looking at it like this, being very alert and stuff. I think it also comes from a place of, because you're so far from people you're familiar with, right? अगर आप इंडिया में हो तो आप किसी से भी you can, you know, ask for help, you know, and be like, you know, okay, भैया help कर दो or something like that, and automatically there is this sense of like, you know, community, and you feel कि अच्छा, you know, that person, expectation legitimate होता है कि हाँ, that person will help you. यहाँ पे you don't have that comfort. You don't know if I literally call for help, the other person is going to respond. So I think it is always there that, you know what, I have to be very careful and cautious. I think it's absolutely right. But yeah, you hang out in groups, you hang out with students, you hang out with people you're comfortable with, build a bond so that, you know, and there's always a question that comes up whenever I'm signing up for any event or volunteering work that, you know, who's your emergency contact? And I'm like, emergency contact में मैं किसको डालूं? सोचना पड़ेगा कि अच्छा कोई relative है जो ऐसे, I don't know, in some other state, or, you know, should I put my flatmate's name? So yeah, you have to build that bond.
I think best friend paega as compared to relatives from other state.
That's true.
And any stories you have more you want to add?
I think one tip that I will give, and I also was given when I came to New York in the beginning, was I think a lot of international students, okay, the moment they step in, the first thing they're going to see is, okay, this city is filled with rats, number one. Number two, it's also filled with a lot of homeless people. The homeless population is at an all-time high in New York City.
But
And
only upper and lot in Manhattan, right? Lower Manhattan has barely.
you will find them. You will find them, and mainly you'll find them in the subway stations. So the subway stations can be Washington. Oh yes, even including Washington Square Park. Yeah, you'll find a lot of them. So
Michael Moore,
yeah, but the problem is sometimes they can get crazy. I mean, you can't do anything about it because they're people, they don't have mental health facilities, so they're devoid of those facilities. So most of the time, they're just a few of them are crackheads, and they do drugs. But I think you should be careful while walking around them, because I've seen instances where there are people that can just like flip out a knife, or instances where someone has told me that they probably had to walk 10 steps ahead because they were really afraid of who was walking behind them, who was, following them. Like, yeah, that was one tip I was given, and I think that came in handy. Because in New York, you have to be very alert.
I think NYU इस मामले में is very good because हमारे orientation में we have lots of session like navigating NYC and stuff like that. जहाँ पर they actually tell like how to like survive in New York City ऐसे issues के साथ क्या करना चाहिए, like after 9-10 p.m. don't try to venture out alone किसी लोगों के साथ, stay in groups and stuff like that. Homeless लोग दिखेंगे तो how do you tackle that? Don't like 2 a.m. 3 a.m. when you're returning via the subway and stuff like that. Don't like enter a empty cart or stuff like that. Guards जहाँ पे है उसी के आसपास वाले subway carts में बैठो and stuff like that. So I think NYU इस मामले में बहुत अच्छा. There are lots of international, the OGS and international student community and everything बहुत events ऐसे host करते हैं and how to navigate and stuff like that.
And I think very early on we were told ki acha NYU has its own campus safety facilities, right? Like there's a Safe NYU app. So you need to have it on your phone, and there are always these campus safety vehicles outside around buildings and in civic areas. So I think that like sometimes you can't help, you have to step out alone. I'm not gonna ask my friend to come with me at 9 p.m. to get a carton of milk or something. So I think I try to take the path that I'm familiar with. I try to be around vehicles, NYU buildings, and also that if something happens, then but of course, like touch wood, I have not had any issues, but I have heard a lot of stories being like people being,
Like there are lots of, like one of the most common question जिनका भी like New York City में या US in general आता है, या मेरे दोस्तों भी बहुत like have you been like mugged or stuff like that till now. मेरे साथ भी like unfortunately अभी तक 10 months touch wood हुआ नहीं है वैसा कुछ, because like मैं हमेशा like जहाँ पे crowded area है मैं वहाँ पे चलता हूँ, because like मेरे को यहाँ पे आने से पहले मेरे relatives, past friends and everything सब ने वही बोला था 9, 10, 11 जब भी तुम कभी भी जाओ crowded areas के साथ move करो, you'll be safe. So I think ये tips and tricks अगर याद रखोगे then you will be pretty much safe in the city and in any place in the US.
Yeah, I think, I would like to just add on कि अभी भी जितने भी crime होते हैं in US, for example, mugging बहुत कम होते हैं. More is mainly, like gun. Like more mass shootings have happened in this year as compared to number of days. There are, like, I'm serious, like all over the US. But I am happy to see that कि New York में अभी आजकल ज़्यादा पुलिस दिख रही है. Because today आज ईद थी, आज ज़्यादा है. Like wherever there's some special event, police increases because they know कि mass shootings के लिए, like they have gun-free zones. New York City में यहाँ पे especially gun-free zones है. So I think इस चीज़ का जो डर है इसके लिए I just say that कि probability of that is still less than you having something in a car accident. जिसकी probability हमेशा ज़्यादा होती है. So that's just a way to calm yourself down कि कुछ नहीं होगा. Calm yourself down कि कुछ भी नहीं होगा.
I think calming के लिए I usually like कि हाँ NYPD है आसपास, कुछ होगा तो NYPD will come down and help, and 911 तो बहुत ही responsive है, because first hand experience मैंने like देखा है in fact कि like there is this citizen app जहाँ पे you get updates, regular updates वगैरह, notification. मैंने फिर भी रखा है to get to know like मेरे neighborhood में कौन कौन सा areas मेरे को at least नहीं जाना चाहिए. But I think मैं जहाँ पे रहता हूँ at least रात को even at 1 o'clock 2 o'clock lots of people stay on the streets because I have 24/7 Delhi's आसपास जहाँ पे कॉफ़ी वगैरह खाना वगैरह मिलता है. And NYPD as a whole also बहुत पेट्रोलिंग वगैरह करते हैं in Brooklyn, parts of Brooklyn जहाँ पे हम लोग रहते हैं. And if you are stay near campus at 10, 11, 1 a.m. 2 a.m. बहुत campus safety वाले patrols भी होते हैं. So as in general I think if you like know कहाँ पे क्या क्या चल रहा है and don't just avoid streets जहाँ पे light नहीं है या कोई नहीं चल रहा है, I think it's pretty much okay with that.
Yeah, I think gun violence in general, I don't think that bothered me much. Like I had heard stories, right? When you're in India, आप stories सुनते हो कि अच्छा, mass shooting हुई and all of that. So I think वो scare उधर ही रह गया. I think the first thing that I thought when I landed in New York was, and actually I heard it from one of my friends, is that a student had just come in and she got hit by a car, right? And I think that fear is like more, मतलब वो ज़्यादा दिमाग में चलता है कि स्ट्रीट्स जब क्रॉस करते हैं, बिकॉज उधर तो हम लोग कितना ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, तो यहाँ पे एंड न्यूयॉर्क इज प्रॉब्ली द ओनली सिटी वेयर जे वॉकिंग इज वेरी कॉमन. आप स्ट्रीट लाइट देखो, अगर गाड़ी नहीं आ रही है तो यू जस्ट कीप वॉकिंग अहेड. तो आई थिंक वो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा रहता है कि मे बी avoid isolated areas and stuff like that. I don't think gun violence in general, but yeah, like you try to follow all the rules and be around like places which are well lit.
I think even in Citizen app में मैंने अभी तक in past 9 months only 4 or 5 times I've heard कि armed robberies हुआ है या someone with a gun is terrorizing person. So I think यहाँ पे gun laws थोड़ा सा might be strict and stuff like that. I'm not aware of that. But मेरे साथ अभी तक ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
नाइस यार. तो लाइक सेफ होने का यही तरीका है, लाइक स्टे विद द क्राउड्स एंड जस्ट कीप अवेयर ऑफ सराउंडिंग. कुछ भी डाउटफुल अगर जो भी आपके पास आ रहा है, लाइक कीप एन आई. मुझे याद है कि जब लाइक व्हेन आई वाज ऑल माय समवन स्टोल माय फोन, मुझे पता चल रहा था कि वो बंदा मेरे पास भाग के आ रहा है. I got ready, तभी मैं उसे छीनने नहीं दिया अच्छे से. So now next, can you walk us through the decision of studying abroad? How did you convince your parents? Or like, it's a big investment because like studying in the US especially is becoming more and more expensive. So how do you, come up with like, because coming here, parent support is always needed. So how do you convince your parents?
So, in इस मामले में my parents were pretty much open and good because they actually pushed me कि like you should go for a higher degree, for a master's degree, not necessarily MS abroad, but they were more like go for an MTech degree or go for an MBA degree because with a master's degree, lots of doors will be opening for you. And like even like working after like 2 years, like I took this decision in May 2022. 2 साल काम करने के बाद आई वॉज लाइक हाँ लाइक काम कर लिए. इट्स टर्निंग आउट टू मी मोनोटोनस, लाइक वही सुबह उठ के ये कॉन कॉल ये करो वो करो एंड शाम तक ये हो जाएगा बस वही. सो आई वॉज लाइक कि थोड़ा सा लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज लाइक AI ML डीप लर्निंग ये सब में जनरेटिव AI वगैरह में आई थिंक आई शुड लाइक थोड़ा सीखना चाहिए बिकॉज आई नेवर लर्न ऑल दोज इन माई अंडर ग्रेड बिकॉज द ट्रेंड वॉज नॉट देयर एट दैट टाइम जितना अभी चल रहा है. सो एट दैट पॉइंट आई रियलाइज की घर वाले भी बोल रहे हैं. सो आई थिंक इट्स हाई टाइम आई गो फॉर अ मास्टर्स अब्रॉड बिकॉज आई सॉ लॉट्स ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स हु एक्चुअली डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम अंडर ग्रेड went for a master's abroad. So I thought कि अगर वो लोग कर सकते like even I can do. So like I gave my GRE exam, gave my TOEFL exam in September 2022, prepared my SOP and stuff like that, and submitted all my, for NYU at least I submitted everything by November by the priority deadline and everything. For other colleges also by November end or December mid. My first admit came out in Jan during Republic Day was from NYU only. Oh, nice. It was pretty much amazing. I got elected and with the scholarship I was like very much happy. And I did 70% of my decision उसी समय कि like NYU आऊँगा because New York, it was one of my dream colleges because the city as a whole I was very much like जाना कहीं है तो अगर जॉब करने कैली जाना ही है बाद में तो अभी क्यों जाए कैली, थोड़ा न्यूयॉर्क सिटी या बॉस्टन घूम के ही जाएंगे. आई वाज लाइक चलते ही है न्यूयॉर्क सिटी कोई नहीं. एंड आफ्टर दैट इन Feb March also the other admits from North East and Sunny Buffalo and everything came out and बहुत informative decision लेने के बाद I decided कि NYU जाते हैं and everything. And in April I actually told my parents कि I got an admit and everything and I think I'm ready to go. They were like ठीक है लोन वगैरह. They didn't, I only like found out everything, लोन कैसे करना है ये कैसे करना है. So everything I just told them कि लोन के लिए मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, I'm going with non-collateral, I need you guys as a co-signer. They were pretty much open कि okay will be
काश लिए लोन.
और मैंने HDFC क्रेडिट से लिया है. So they were like co-signer, they need co-applicants for non-collateral. So I was like आप लोग कर दोगे. So my parents were pretty much open. Yeah, they were happy to be co-applicants. No such issues are like नहीं जाना नहीं चाहिए इतना लोन लेके heavy investment हो रहा है. In fact like ताकि लोन का burden मेरे पे ज़्यादा ना हो, I actually took tuition only as the loan and my living is actually being my mother and my father are like actually depleting their savings and giving me. Right now तो मेरे पास on campus job है, so I'm not taking money from them, so they are pretty much happy. उसमें भी पैसे नहीं लेना पड़ रहा है. But initial 6 months when I didn't have, but even starting में भी आने से पहले there was a possibility I won't have on campus for 2 years also. So they were like, unke paas, they were like happy to deplete the savings for me. So they were pretty much supportive of me till the visa day also. Like visa se pehle I was like, hoga ya nahi hoga, milega ya nahi milega, kya pata us samay. Because I heard stories like 3, 4 years, 5 years experience mein there were people who got visa rejected because visa interview thought ki like this is a clear case of immigration. tum 5 saal yahan pe kaam kar liye, abhi kya hi masters karoge, tum to immigrate karne hi ja rahe ho, hame bhi pata hai. So I was like, kya hoga? So like my visa interview was pretty much smooth. I was just asked like, I think yahan pe bhi the NYU brand helped, because he was like, oh my god, you're going to NYU, that's amazing, New York City, wow. He was like, why are you going to NYU and what is your post-graduation plans and stuff like that? And you know, like then he said like, your visa is approved.
Nice.
I was like, amazing. 3 दिन बाद I got my visa, and then in July I met my friends and everyone. I was ready for my abroad journey, packing से लेके सब कुछ. And in mid-August, August 16th, I flew to JFK on 17th morning. I landed.
क्या बात है. And yeah, that was very very precise. And क्या बात है, पूरा आपने पूरा जर्नी वॉक थ्रू कर दिया. बहुत बढ़िया.
आई थिंक मेरे लिए पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस करना उतना ज़्यादा नहीं पड़ा. आई थिंक द फर्स्ट टाइम दैट आई मेंशन दैट आई हैड अ प्लान कि मुझे मास्टर्स करना है बाहर, इट वाज वेरी लेट. आई ऑलवेज हैड दिस प्लान इन माई माइंड कि मुझे मास्टर्स करना है, बट आई नेवर शेयर्ड इट विद माई पेरेंट्स. एंड आई वाज प्रीटी सेटल्ड इन Bombay, you know, and they were like, okay, you know, she's living in a like rented place, she has a place for herself, and you know, she's doing well. So I think for them the natural next step would have been to like, you know, get married or, you know, probably, you know, get settled or something like that. So I think when I announced that decision, they were quiet for a time, but I think that was it. Like after that, every step of the way, like not just my parents, my sister, like everybody has helped so much. Financially, again, it was a very calculated step. Like I had already thought about कि मुझे मास्टर्स करना है, तो पूरा एकदम एक्सपेंडिचर वगैरह सब कुछ कि हाँ स्कॉलरशिप अगर नहीं मिलता है. So I had savings of my own, and I was okay with taking a loan, and I also took a collateral free loan. So thankfully my parents were like, you know, they were like, you know, even if you want collateral, we are okay. So we are standing behind you. Don't think about anything else. Like don't think about if it's a good investment or not. You want to do something, we are here. I think वो backbone जो होता है ना, that is very important. I think I was working. I think last जब आप notice period में होते हो, for many people it's like a very chill period. For me it wasn't, right? And I remember I couldn't physically go to banks and all. My sister was going every day and she was updating me. I was on the phone with my parents, you know, how are things gonna work out, and you know, visa slot nahi mil raha hai, ye nahi karna hai. Every step of the way they were like, you know what, logistics of course you have to figure out, you have to research, आपको finances कहाँ से लाना है, कैसे करना है, you will have to put your mind. But I think decision making mein they were like, you know what, you decide, we're just gonna be like, you know, we are gonna decide, you know. And even now, right, I remember talking about this 2 months ago कि मम्मा masters करते करते, you know, I'm going bald, you know, मेरे बाल झड़ रहे हैं, what do I do? And she's like, कोई बात नहीं बेटा, आप अच्छे से एकदम वहाँ पे काम कर लो, you know, study, and you know, you earn lots of money and stuff, and we'll get some false thing, you know, it's okay, we'll figure out, you know, have a workaround and stuff. So I think they are I think the initial part where I shared that plan with them, I think वहाँ पे they were like, okay, she has already thought about something. And then when I told them कि अच्छा, you know what, this is what I'm calculating, इतना खर्चा आएगा, you know, taking a loan and all of that, they were like, it's completely fine. And even now my dad is retired, right? So he is like okay with, you know, giving out help and, you know, ऐसे retirement savings से बच्चे को पढ़ाना and stuff. I think that itself, just the fact that they are ready to help me financially when I need it, I think that was huge. I think I'm very thankful I have parents like them. Yeah, and my sister.
I really admire the honesty. Like आपने बिल्कुल transparently पूरी journey बताई. Very inspiring.
For me also, like I also had the option कि, you know, collateral ले सकते. My parents were ready कि like हाँ, we can give the property as collateral and stuff like that, or the fixed deposit and stuff like that. But I didn't want to do that क्योंकि I was like कि why will I hold them as a hostage? क्योंकि जब तक मैं loan clear out नहीं करूँगा, they actually can't use that FD, or if my parents want to shift to another place, they can't sell the house and stuff like that, right? So I was like नहीं चाहिए, मैं non collateral में कर लूँगा. And right now also like मेरा summer internship is not looking that good right now. I didn't secure any offer. My mother is still supportive कि हाँ कोई नहीं. I gave lots of interviews, I got rejections, but my mothers were like हाँ ठीक है कोई नहीं हो जाएगा, right time will be coming. Past things have happened to you like this, but you always looked at the brighter picture and the light at the end of the tunnel and stuff like that. So yeah, इस मामले में I think my parents are very very supportive right as of now.
And I really admire कि आप अपने पेरेंट्स पे as much as less as possible pressure दे रहे थे, because you know like जो लोग अपने पेरेंट्स का घर को lateral दे के लोन लेके आते, like not just stressful for the parents but like खुद के लिए, like कि अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो पेरेंट्स सड़क पे आ सकते हैं, like just imagining that is scary, like you know like, and I really admire you shared that so that students can like take this as an inspiration and खुद अपनी journey में भी implement करें, because you know financial stress जितना कम हो उतना better है.
Yeah, I would say कि non-collateral and collateral loan के बीच में there is only 1 or 2% difference in the interest rates. I would say कि like जितना कम burden parents पे होगा, because they did a lot for, at least for me, my parents did a lot till now, till they 22-23 years of age मेरे लिए बहुत किया था. So I was like अभी जो करना है मेरे को ही करना है, I don't want to burden them anymore. So I was happy like 2% extra interest rate. I was like ठीक है कोई नहीं, non-collateral. And but I would say like even in non-collateral they have to be the co-applicant. That is also a huge ask for them also, because if we are unable to देना पर नहीं कर पा रहे interest का पहला EA वगैरह वगैरह EMI वगैरह, so they have to pay up and stuff like that. उस मामले में भी they are pretty much supportive and everything. So I guess in and all, a supportive parent will obviously help you a lot in this abroad journey.
आई थिंक द की थिंग यहाँ पे है कि आप अपने पेरेंट्स को अगर कॉन्फिडेंस दे सकते हो कि यू नो इफ यू बिकम अ को बोरोवर और को साइनर विथ मी, यू नो व्हाट, आई विल डू माई बेस्ट. अभी रिजल्ट का नहीं पता इफ यू एक्चुअली फाइंड समथिंग और एनीथिंग, बट दे सी यू वर्किंग हार्ड, दे सी यू हैव अ प्लान. तो जैसे 3 साल, like 4 years that I worked, I saved a lot. I saved at least 30% of my tuition fee, which is a lot considering NYU. The stats are all public. But they saw that, right? They had the confidence कि ये कर लेगी, ठीक है. तो they had absolutely, and I think like he also said, right, like parents are very very supportive, so that is obviously there, like whether you work hard, whether you give that confidence or not. But if you give that confidence to them कि you know what, हम मैनेज कर लेंगे, आप बस थोड़ा सा सपोर्ट दो, बिकॉज बैंक को चाहिए को साइनर एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, यू नो, यू एटलीस्ट स्टैंड बाय माई डिसीजन. दे आर वेरी हैप्पी टू डू इट. एंड आई नो दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पेरेंट्स also are not that supportive, or at least I know many of my friends who did not have that support and they couldn't, you know, sort of try to achieve. But I personally credit the journey from my undergrad to going to Bombay and here, I think I credit it to my family. Like, I think that emotional support, mental support was always there. They are my backbone here. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. It was very inspiring talking to you all. You all shared your complete master's journey. बहुत inspiring थी, and I hope this can help students in, you know, better choosing the university. I know कि NYU can be top choice because 10 to 15,000 international students coming here. So it's obviously like worth it in terms of your personal growth, financial growth. So thank you so much.